Hi there, wild ones. I wanted to share a few things about the Unfurl Guide as you just got a taste of the practice in the rewilding workshop. And I wanted to go into deeper aspects of the practice here and talk about the guide I created for you. This is a practice that has been the foundation of me healing chronic Lyme and has helped countless others that I mentor. And you only get out of it what you put into it. It became the practice that I use every morning when I wake up and every night before I go to bed. And I use it in different ways even now, depending on what's needed. And we go deeper into this in my one-on-one work, as well as an upcoming workshop called Heal Your Story, Heal Your Mind. This practice not only helps you dissolve and learn from your pain and the triggers in your life, really creating a formative bridge between, as I talked about in the workshop, our telluric realms of our body and earth into the higher dimensions of our being. So it really creates an incredible communicative pathway towards realization. And we have to learn how to clear out our body before we can come into that fullness of inviting spirit really, into our entire being. So it's a journey, and one that requires us to have a lot of patience. But this practice will help you become a growing force of awareness and absolute surrender and devotion to the divine. The things that you need to know about when using this guide is that you only work with one trigger. After I created this guide, I gave it to a friend of mine to just experiment with and see how it went for him. And he came back and he had written everything, all of his problems in the one circle. And I was like, oh yeah, let's just deal with one. So if you have a lot going on, which most of my clients do, and I once did as well, you can create a list of those things and then use this guide and place one issue at a time within the circle and really start to use that. So we just want to use one trigger at a time with the guide, and then you can go back and do another one. So another thing I want to mention is that depending on what you're working with, it can take minutes or it can take hours. And I did say this in the workshop, but I just want to reiterate it. And I did give an example of when I had that throat virus, and the doctor said it would take 2 weeks or more before this would ever go away. It only took me 2 hours to dissolve that energy, which I've realized was all around the energy of grief of my best friend dying. So have patience, and it might be you might be working with a pain or a trigger, a relationship for quite some time where you come back into it, and it could take weeks. But often it doesn't. When we surrender to that, there is a definite change that we feel immediately as we begin to open up to this. So, number 3, this guide is working with your present manifested reality as well as your potential reality. Reality holds infinite potential and has a variety of form, and we really receive what we choose. And that can be hard for some people to hear. It's like, I really didn't want this. But as we begin to dig deeper and surrender into the energy, we really get to know our story and the stories of our ancestors. We go and explore, if you believe in past lives, which you don't, but we do carry the stories of our ancestors. When we begin to really dive deep into this richness, we actually are able to accept this. And it happens pretty quickly with my clients where they're like, okay, yeah. I mean, it's just amazing the transformation that happens when we allow ourselves to really delve into this. But often there's been so much fear placed upon understanding these really important foundational truths of why we have created what we have created. So reality expresses itself through creation, where there has been repetitive friction, creating a density of energy in that particular realm. And that means that there's been a focus, a friction upon a particular frequency, an energy that you have zoned in over and over. A simple way to put it is you think about all the thoughts that you have ruminated over and over, and they're, you can think of it as just, that thought placing almost like a canal, a river of energy within your brain, and it becomes stuck there. So, and there's several other examples that where this friction of energy that we are constantly engaging in that creates our reality, and it's rather unconscious in the way that we invest in this energy of friction, until we begin to wake up to these knowns that we go deeper into in Heal Your Story, Heal Your Mind, and as well as another program called Deep Dive into Truth. But what I hope you take with this is that when we surrender to our present dense materialization, the friction of energy softens, and we are able to shift our thought of energy into a different reality. So a good question to ask yourself is, where am I investing myself? Are you investing yourself into the anxiety, or are you investing yourself into the peace? And where do you want to invest yourself? So where you want to invest yourself, where we each want to invest ourselves is in our higher self, our Buddha nature. And you don't have to fight for this. You simply have to surrender your grip upon your present reality and shift your focus and choose that which is aligned to your higher vibration. But it's only in the softening of the constriction that we can move into the expansion. So in a nutshell, we allow our tension to move us into our peace, allowing our present experience in any given moment to be a messenger to that which we are still holding on to, and that which is keeping us from our ultimate peace and joy. So we really we learn, it's like a continual teaching until we finally are enraptured in that full knowing, but it's learning how to become fluid and flow with the energy of constriction and expansion, and invest ourselves in a reality that is continually informed by our higher self. Yeah. So go to the guide and play with this idea and just see what happens. Honor, and be in every moment, and have patience. Remember to have patience. It takes so much patience. And everything is informing us towards our ultimate being of truth. I really do believe this. And just trust in all that is showing up is in service to your higher good. I really feel that there's wisdom in all of life's adventures. And as the Avatar told Korra, I don't know if you have seen these cartoons, but they're amazing. It's the Legend of Korra, and prior to that is, excuse me, the Avatar. When we are at our lowest points, we are open to the most profound change. Thank you all.